Good morning. If I can ask everybody to take their seats. Good morning. My name is Chris Calori. I'm the CEO of the Rowan University Rutgers Camden Board of Governors, also known as the Joint Board. Welcome to the Joint Health Science Center groundbreaking ceremony. A little more than 3 years ago, with the commitment of Governor Christie, Congressman Norcross, Senate President Sweeney, along with the cooperation of Dr. Barchi, Dr. Hushman, Dr. Borden, and Chancellor Haddon, we began a journey to transform the Eds and Meds corridor in Camden. The $70 million Joint Health Science Center today is the first of its kind in the state of New Jersey. Under one roof, we're going to have 2 medical schools, 2 four-year institutions, and a county college, all working together. It is that deserves a round of applause. It is an efficient and powerful way to leverage taxpayer investment in higher education. Instead of telling you about the building, we thought we'd change it up a little bit. We thought we'll show you a 1-minute, 45-second visual narrative of this precedent-setting facility. Enjoy. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Jack Collins, the chairman of the Joint Board, the former Speaker of the New Jersey General Assembly, and most importantly, a Hall of Fame basketball coach. His leadership to the Joint Board has been crucial. It is not an understatement to say that we would not be here today but for the work that he and the board have done. So please give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much, and welcome to this really a wonderful day. I couldn't help but think on my way up here that words of my mentor, the late Herman D. James, president of Rowan University. Whenever there was an event like this, he would start off by saying, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood," and it sure is here today. And we thank you all for joining us. In the interest of time, and particularly when you have many people, myself included, who are very comfortable at this microphone, we have set up, as you've already seen, a screen behind us which lists all of the people who have had some role in what is happening here today. Everyone has been vital to why we're here right now. I do want to, beyond that, personally recognize with the unwavering commitment of Governor Christie, Congressman Norcross, Senate President Sweeney, along with the presidents of Rowan, Rutgers, Camden County, and the joint board as we have moved forward to today. I also want to thank personally my colleagues on the governing board, Mayor Redd, Micheline Davis, Chad Bruner, Dudley Rivers, Fred Graziano, and Vice Chair Lou Bessich, along with a former board member, Bob Mortensen. The joint board was formed by legislation with regards to the higher education restructuring law. While this center is a symbol of the collaborative work between the institutions, we have already been hard at work fulfilling our mandate. We funded a joint diabetes research program between Rutgers and Rowan, along with the Medical Legal Partnership Program. In addition, we started the Medical Assistance and Patient Tech Training programs with Camden County College to benefit recent high school graduates of the Camden Public School System. In fact, we have graduates of that program who are working at Cooper Hospital and other healthcare facilities in Camden. And some are here today, and we really appreciate the efforts that they put into becoming better people and helping people by being better. Finally, this spring, we announced the first of its kind Alzheimer's Journey Coordinator Program, which will be offered at Camden County College. This program will help thousands of adults in New Jersey and their families navigate the complex and challenging aspects of Alzheimer's. The joint board was formed just a little over 3 years ago through the legislation procured from Trenton. During this time, we have done the things I just mentioned and what's going to happen in the future with the building here. And I somewhat brag, not for me as a representative of the board, but for the 4 people, 4 is our entire staff. Chris Calori, Dean Dastuto, Laura Jakimowicz, and Sandy McMaster. These 4 people have put in hours and hours over the last 3 years to bring us to today. This building is an important milestone for the joint board and our institutional partners. But before I introduce the governor of the great state of New Jersey, I want to say one personal thing, and really to the administrative leaders of these academic institutions. In fact, a reporter asked me earlier today, how has it been with these institutions? Have they really worked together, or were there egos involved, particularly by members of the academia? Well, let me say this. Because of the leadership of the administrative leaders of these universities and Camden County College, but let me focus particularly on Rutgers and Rowan, it has been smooth sailing. So there are many backslaps to go around today, but to the presidents of Rowan and Rutgers particularly, and other administrators, this day wouldn't have happened without their leadership. Having said that, there's another leader who's here today, someone who I have called a friend for many years. He is, at least for a few more months, the governor of the great state of New Jersey, Governor Christie.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 89 days, not that I'm counting. You know, when I'm heading to events like this, the staff prepares briefings for me, and most of them, by the time you're 89 days away from finishing 2,920 days, there's very little that's going to surprise you or delight you in a briefing. You pretty much know what you're going to read. But this morning, when I was heading down here, I want to thank Congressman Norcross for being here, Mayor Redd. I want to thank President Hushmand and President Borden, Chancellor Phoebe Haddon, Freeholder Capelli, Council President Moran, all of you for being here very, very much. I particularly want to thank President Barchi of Rutgers. The transformation that you are seeing in the higher education community in New Jersey is not just because of the Higher Education Restructuring Act that Jack mentioned in his introduction, although that was absolutely indispensable to getting it done. It wasn't just because of the Building Our Future Bond Act, which has allowed us to build the dozens and dozens of new buildings and refurbished buildings that you see going up on campuses all across the state that will increase the number of seats available to New Jersey students to get their education here at home at an affordable price. But we all know that in higher education in New Jersey, if Rutgers doesn't lead, then very little special can happen. And when we selected a number of years ago Bob Barchi to be the president of Rutgers University, together we had a vision for and a hope for transforming not only Rutgers but the entire higher education community in this state. And I would tell you, President Barchi, we couldn't have done it without you. And while the mission is not yet fully accomplished, it's close to getting there, and I want to thank you for your leadership. This groundbreaking today is another milestone in our ongoing commitment not only to our higher education community, but to the city of Camden. As part of the broadest and boldest restructuring of New Jersey's higher education landscape in decades, this 95,000 square foot facility will help to strengthen and elevate medical education in our state and particularly here in South Jersey. We want to ensure that our residents have continued access to well-trained doctors as well as other healthcare professionals, and encouraging those doctors to put down their roots here in New Jersey and stay here, make a life here, build a family here. It's a factor that spurred me to increase graduate medical education funding in this year's budget by another $30 million to over $218 million. Overall, our administration has increased funding for graduate medical education by over 75% during the time we've been in office. We want to invest in the education that New Jersey students can get and make sure the brain drain doesn't kill us, but in fact is reversed and we keep people here. This joint center will be the first of its kind in New Jersey and is being funded in part by the biomedical facilities and also the Higher Education Bond Act I mentioned before. When it opens in the spring of 2019, this facility will provide unique educational and training opportunities for a new generation of folks here in South Jersey who want to make a difference with the health and well-being of our citizens. It'll create a special healthcare synergy in the city alongside Cooper University Cancer Research Center, the Rutgers Nursing and Science Building, and the Cooper Health Offices. And Adrian is here representing Cooper amongst a lot of others, including Kevin O'Dowd, my former Chief of Staff. I want to thank the folks at Cooper. Without Cooper, the revitalization of Camden would not have happened. And so Adrian, Kevin, and the rest of the board at Cooper, thank you for being here and thank you for your support. Good news for Mayor Redd is that this facility will generate $72 million in economic impact in the city of Camden alone. That's a great thing for this city. When I became governor 8 years ago, Mayor Redd and I agreed that Camden was a city with extraordinary potential but was in crisis. High crime rates, a failing education system, private sector disinvestment, and a general lack of faith in the future. In the end, what changes that are people. And so a new mayor, and Dana Redd, decided that Camden was not going to be in decline any longer, and she was going to reach out to anyone of any party, of any persuasion, in order to help the city of Camden, and she's done it. We brought in Payman Hanafard to run the city school system, and it has been an extraordinary gift to see what has happened to the K-12 education system in this city. It is getting better every year. Test scores are going up, but more importantly, the faith and confidence of the parents of the city of Camden is going up in its school system, and that is because of Payman Hanafard and the men and women he leads in the Camden school system every day. He's here today, and this city would not be changing the way it is without your leadership, Payman. Thank you for being here as well. And Freeholder Capelli and the folks in Camden County stepped forward to deal with the issue of crime in this city, got rid of a dysfunctional and ineffective city police department, took the bold step of putting a county police force with the Metro Division here in Camden. We have more police officers on the street today than at any time in our history, and these are police officers, men and women, who believe in this community, who believe not just in the words community policing, but in the actions that it takes every day to make sure that community policing not only leads to a safer city for our citizens, but also leads to a happier and better place for them to live and to raise their children. That couldn't be done without Chief Scott Thompson and the men and women that he leads in the county police force. It has truly been transformative. I believe it's a model for other places in New Jersey and other places in the country if they can get over the special interest opposition to success. And he has led that success here bravely and without any hesitation. And Camden and its citizens and its business community are extraordinarily well served by Chief Scott Thompson. Thank you for being here, Chief. Think about this. If I had told you 8 years ago, when I became governor, that, don't worry, in 8 years, there will be $3 billion in private sector investment in the city of Camden. $3 billion in private sector investment in the city of Camden that will start and complete 133 new projects in this city that will create more than 7,000 new jobs, while generating more than 14,000 construction jobs. If I told you that 8 years ago, you would have told me I was crazy. But you know what? It's good to be a little crazy in this job every once in a while and believe that people can make a difference. And it's myself, the legislature, Mayor Red, and the council, and the New Jersey Economic Development Authority who has stepped forward and believed in this city. And I want to thank the leadership of the Economic Development Authority over the last 7 years. They have done an extraordinary job. And now Camden is getting ready to be called headquarters city in New Jersey with Subaru and American Water Works and Holtec. As I like to say, the only thing the Sixers do anymore in Philadelphia is play their games. They do everything else that they do here in the city of Camden. An extraordinary thing. Lastly, I'm not going to give you a lot of statistics. You know all the statistics. And that's good that you know them, because people are talking about Camden. And today is another reason why I believed, and Mayor Red believed, and Senator Sweeney believed, that if we worked together, if we were willing to invest smartly, not just throw money at the problem as had been done before, and have that money just dissipate into the ether, but to invest in real projects that would today and feel safe and comfortable. He will not, and his men and women will not be comfortable until that happens. Payman will not be comfortable until every family in Camden has the opportunity to have a great education that makes their son or daughter career or college ready, and we're not there yet either. And I know Mayor Red and her successor will not be satisfied until economic opportunity is sprouting in every part of this city, and that people believe this is a place where you can live and work and raise your family. But I'll tell you this, 8 years later, we are a hell of a lot better off than we were 8 years ago, and it's because of the work of all of those people and the belief and confidence of the people of the city of Camden. This is a great American success story, and I'll never stop talking about how proud I am to have been a small part of making this city, with events like today, an even better place. So on a beautiful day like today, in the middle of October, I want all of you just to take a moment, and not too long, but just a moment to look in the rearview mirror. You know, I spend most of my life looking through the windshield because that's where life's going to be coming at you. But every once in a while, it makes sense to take a deep breath and take a look in the rearview mirror. If you do, you will see, has made me feel like this is my second home in the state. And I will forever be personally grateful to all of the people of Camden for the confidence they have placed in me, the warm welcome they've always given me, and the belief in me that I believed in you. And things like today show exactly what that type of faith and confidence and hard work can produce. So congratulations to everybody. It's great to be here. And congratulations to Rowan and Rutgers and Camden County College on this joint center. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Governor. I now want to bring to the microphone someone who I first met prior to his legislative and congressional career, Congressman Donald Norcross. And I met him, deservedly so. I met him, and immediately I was impressed with his commitment, in this case, to his union colleagues and to our area. And during my speakership, I dealt with the now congressman many times. And every time I was with him, I left thinking, you know, there's a good guy. And to me, in this, quote, world of politics, good guys are what matter. This man has been a fighter for Camden and South Jersey for years. He did it when he was in the legislature, and he's doing it now as the congressman from the 1st Congressional District. He's one of the most effective advocates for Camden and South Jersey, and he was supported from day one to this project. Ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Donald Norcross.
Good morning. Just echoing what the governor had to say, we just need to stop right there. Because when I look across the street and between the rails that you see behind us, some 58 years ago, my mother held me in her arms where I was baptized on this very spot. It's special to me, not just for that reason, but for the reasons that you heard the governor talk about, that our great Mayor Red will talk about, that I look down, people like Jack Collins. It's not about blue or red, Republican or Democrat. It's about working together as a team. And people ask me all the time, what made Camden different? How did we get to where we are? And I simply say, working together. Working together. Not claiming credit for doing something. It's about making that difference. So when I look across this crowd and behind me, who's here today? It's literally everybody with the heart and soul of the future of not only Camden, but of South Jersey. And that's rather remarkable. We have the presidents of each of the colleges, the other president, Donald Borden, who's here from my school, but it's about eds and meds, as you heard, or as I suggest, it's about jobs. The best social program is a job. I just returned late last night from Switzerland with a group of my colleagues looking at the way they build their system for jobs. The CEO of UBS, that monster financial firm, started out as an apprentice. We don't look at apprentices from the white collar, but traditionally from the blue collar. My friends in labor who will be working with those who called us home to build this great facility, working together, that had that vision